Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds, number 55. So this is where I like to collect together all the new music that I've purchased over the past week and present it to you. And I get it from different places like my local record store and also online retail like Amazon, eBay, and more. And so for this past week, I got 14 new music finds to go through with you, and it breaks down as 3 new releases, 6 from a new record store that I found called Record Runner. I'll get into that a little bit more. 2 from eBay and 3 catalog albums. So before we dive into that though, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with New Music Finds, episode number 55. All right, so kicking things off here as we usually do, we start with brand new releases. And the big one that was out for me, Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. This one here called External Combustion. It's the second album from Mike Campbell in this lineup. And interestingly, the first album that came out was simply called The Dirty Knobs. He's now added his name to it, sort of like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I kind of like that little nod there. And so this one here, in my opinion, they're kind of really starting to find their footing, and the album itself is coming together as a whole. And I think that they're really coming into their own on this album. This one here, at times, I really actually had to check and find out, did they have Tom Petty singing on it from some old track or something? And no, it's actually Mike Campbell. He just really sounds like Tom Petty at sometimes on the album. So very good stuff. If you like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, you're gonna like Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. All right, next new one is Ty Tabor, Shades. This is the 11th studio album from the King's X guitarist, and really good stuff. Again, we're waiting on the brand new King's X record, which is said to be done and have a date, but no date has been announced. So in the meantime, I'm enjoying some of the solo projects. The guys in King's X are always turning out different stuff. Every one of them, the trio. You get a lot from Doug Pinnick, the vocalist, and Ty Tabor. So definitely worth checking in. They've got a whole section on the Wikipedia page for just their side projects and stuff. They've got so many. All right, and the next one is Marillion, An Hour Before It's Dark. This one here, really good. It is the Steve Hogarth lineup with him on vocals. You know, there's really 2 eras of this. Steve Hogarth taking over for Fish, the original vocalist. But this one here is really got sort of a big epic feel to it, and at the same time it's also very ethereal and atmospheric in the way that it feels. So interesting. It's, you know, different than that stuff from the 80s, but I'm really enjoying what it is. I got to dive into it more. It's one of those albums that you can't really talk about just after a couple listens. You need much more time. I'm going to be diving into this one and really enjoying it, and maybe at a later date I'll give you guys another update on it, but right now I am enjoying it. Okay, so then I made a trip to a new record store that I found. I just, one day at lunchtime, was Googling and found some more record stores in New York City, did some research on it, and decided to take a chance, and I'm really glad I did. So I went down to the West Village to Record Runner, and it's located at 5 Jones Street. And this is a historic location, mostly because Bob Dylan's 1963 album, The Free Willin' Bob Dylan, was shot on that street right in front of the store itself. So tour groups come by, they talk about it, all that sort of stuff. It was really fun while I was there. I did a record store experience video. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you haven't already checked that one out. You can, and I do go through the loot at the end of that one, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it here for those that haven't seen it. So let's start with the vinyl. One of the things that was a really cool find for me was this, the Def Leppard Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance. It's got 5 tracks on it. You know, Def Leppard's been putting out a number of EPs recently, and they've done them throughout their whole career. I would really like it if they did a box set of CDs of all of these EPs so we could finally get this stuff. But the 5 tracks on here: Hysteria, Rock of Ages, Photograph, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and All the Young Dudes, featuring the Mott the Hoople guy, Ian Hunter, in here, who sang the track. You know, it was given to him by David Bowie, but you know, so not written by Mott the Hoople, but it is known for them. So they're here. Brian May, Rod Argent, Colin Blunstone, Phil Manzanera, Steve Van Zandt, and Susanna Hoffs. So what a cool lineup on that track. I haven't opened it yet, I know. It's one of those things, like, it looks so good in the plastic with the hype sticker and everything. I just haven't brought myself to open it yet, but I will be opening it and listening to it. It's not one of those ones where I never buy something and don't open it. Sometimes though, I do wait until I'm really in the mood for it, and that one there, I'm just kind of enjoying the way that it looks before I go peeling off the plastic on it. All right, another one that I picked up was this, Guadalcanal Diary, Walking in Shadows of the Big Man. And that one has been very hard for me to find, so that was a cool addition. It was their debut album. I'll give you the backside of that, sorry. Kind of in my own space sometimes when I'm talking about these things. And so they're a band that's from the Athens, Georgia area. I always heard them referenced with REM. REM took them on tour and stuff like that. So they're one that comes to mind when you're thinking of that. So if you're looking for something that's in that vein, Guadalcanal Diary is one of those bands. All right, this one here was really good. Fix, Shuttered Room, debut album from 1982, featuring 3 of their big hits, Standerfall, Red Skies, and Lost Plains. And never not been able to find that one on CD, and so that's where I buy a lot of my records, are the ones that I can't get on CD. So I bought that one, I enjoyed it, and it sort of kicked off a Fix kick. So I've actually ordered some more now from eBay, so you'll be seeing in probably next week's New Music Finds some of that stuff that'll be coming in. All right, and the last record that I picked up was this, a Greg Kihn solo album, but I know him from the Greg Kihn Band. And so this is 1986, 11th album. What I was so surprised to see was this guy right there, Joe Satriani, as part of the band. And it does state, there we go, band members on the backside there, if you can see it. Haven't listened to it yet, but really excited for that. That was pretty cool. I know Greg Kihn Band from their hit songs like the Breakup Song, which was a number 15 Billboard Hot 100 hit, and Jeopardy from 1983, a number 2 Billboard Hot 100 hit. So, known for some stuff out there. This should be really cool. Don't know why his stuff hasn't been reissued. A lot of these guys, it's like The Fix, Greg Kihn, why is their stuff not on CD or so hard to find on CD? Because a lot of this stuff did come out and then went out of print again, and now we're hunting for it. But picked up those records. They were like $7-8 a piece, so not bad. Great quality. Very happy with that. Also picked up 2 CDs. Focused on this one really because here it is, Bryan Adams Live 1988 live album. But Bryan Adams has a brand new album coming out on March 11th, this Friday. So I'm super excited for that. Now, if you can't wait for that new album on Friday, last Friday, he released his version of the Pretty Woman musical soundtrack, recorded and performed by him as opposed to the original cast. So that's out to stream. No word if a physical copy of that's going to come out or not, but this one here, Japanese import of it, been very hard to find, so I was glad to get that. Sounds really good. Those are the kind of live albums that I like. Really big, huge performances where the crowd noise is there. Like, I'm not a big fan of clubs where you can hear one guy shouting out something as opposed to the sea of noise that is usually at these bigger ones. So I do like live albums like that. Then I picked this up, which is a cool find for me. Been looking for it for a while. Roxette, Crash Boom Bang, the original full-length album, which came out in 1994, I believe. 5th studio album. The US only got a 10-track edited version of the album called Favorites from Crash Boom Bang. It was sold at McDonald's locations. I had that back in the day, and I think it was really cheap. It was like $6 or something, $5.99 or something. So I always enjoyed it, but I wanted the full-length album, and for whatever reason, this one is pretty hard to find, but finally got it. And if you saw in the video, I think it said it was like $23 or $24 or whatever, and the guy discounted it down to like $15 or something, knowing that it's really too high a price for what it is. But at the same time, I know online, cheapest I've seen that for is $40. So I think I got a pretty good deal on that and was very happy. So now I picked up some stuff off Amazon, some catalog albums that dovetails right into that Roxette, because I also picked up Joyride. You know, I saw this one that was there. It was like $13.98. It was used. I thought about picking it up, or I think it was this one, Tourism, which I also picked up. But I knew that they were still available. I real quickly checked on Amazon. I saw they were available, so I ordered them to get brand new copies. So 3rd studio album from 1991, excellent. 1992, it is a studio album, but there's also live on here. So it always confused me, the title of this, Tourism. It's not a live album. It is actually studio recorded and a few live tracks that are edited into it where the noise fades in and out as part of the overall feel of the album. But they recorded it while on tour in different hotel rooms and studios around the world, which is why they titled it that. But unfortunately, I think people thought it was a live album. People don't usually respond as well to live albums as a brand new studio album, so it kind of ran under the radar. But the big hit that was on it, How Do You Do, the first track on here, I've always wanted that. It's not been on some of the greatest hits and stuff that I have, so I finally got it back. Now, one band that I've been getting back into, I've been into them for a while, but getting back into and pulling out all their stuff was Saga. And I didn't have this album, Behavior, 6th studio album from 1985. And these are the reissues of it, done very nicely. The booklets that are in here, they've got a cool little write-up in the front of these things to read about. Of course, you get all your lyrics and whatnot, and you get some cool band photos and things of that nature. So the reissue is done really well. I'm very happy with it. Wish it wasn't in the Digipack. Mine, it's going to be hard to see maybe, has a cut on it right there. So I am returning this. I'm going to get a replacement, but man, I just got that in the mail today and it's damaged. That comes from people when they cut into the box to open to take these out, and they use the X-Acto blade and they cut right into the cardboard cases. And this happens all the time. One of my biggest complaints from Amazon. They're, unfortunately one of the worst at doing that sort of a thing, or allowing their workers to do that. All right, now, if you remember back, I did a New Music Now episode and I was really excited, and I showed you this Stranger self-titled album, Soundcheck Sessions. It was a 40th anniversary remaster, and it was originally, this is the album from 1982. Unfortunately, it was a burned disc. Now, I believe it was an original. That's just the way that it came from the artist who made it. It wouldn't play in my player, so I had to return it. So that $97 price tag of my highest individual single CD that I bought is no longer the case. It got returned. So, so be it. Maybe I'll find a different version of it or whatever. But what's kind of cool is I still got another Stranger album in the mail like a day or two later. This one here called No Rules from 1989. Second studio album. Now, kind of weird. They put the cover on both sides. Track listings on the inside here, but I've had this one before. You've probably seen it. I showed it in one of my What's That You're Listening To episodes. Track listings on the back of this one, not on this one. Now this one here is an original one. This one here may be hard to tell. Somebody photocopied and made this one. It is a burned disc. So this is the only way I had ever found it. I didn't pay much for it, maybe $10 tops. And at some point along the way, I met Greg Billings, the lead vocalist, and I got him to sign it. So that was really cool. So I'm not getting rid of this, but I did want to have a real copy of it. The way it was intended to be, just that sort of pristine beauty that it is. So I got that, and that's in the collection. I'm very excited for that. And so there you go. Those are the 14 new music finds that I had as part of this. So 10 CDs, 4 records. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Do check the description for links to related videos, in particular that new record store experience video for Record Runner. And we'll see what else I throw in there. But take care, have a great day, and let me know what kind of new music finds you guys are getting. I'm sure you're getting some great stuff as well. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one. Bye-bye.